Hello, and welcome back to the mix. If you guys are new, I am your host, Anthony Douglas, and today's guest we have Daveda Johnson. Hello, how are
What
you
it
doing?
what?
I wish I had like a round of applause. I got to figure out how
You got to
to add
get
that
on.
in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Urban X.
I
I
think I
love how
got.
they have the buttons you can push
Let's see.
and yeah.
Ah. Woo. All
I
right,
like that.
I don't know if they're able to hear that, but I had a round of applause.
I heard it.
Very loud. I forgot I had it, but until you mentioned it, uh, but yeah, hey, thank you for coming on.
Allegedly.
Allegedly, allegedly. Hey, I want to thank you for coming on to the podcast.
How tap.
We've literally been talking about this for probably a year
Yeah.
now,
Yeah.
um, and it's finally here. And you know, I mean, there's so much to really talk about that I wish we could have over there, but we're doing it now, and that's all that matters.
Right.
Um, so I want to just dive right into what we have on the table.
Well,
Okay.
actually, I have something to say first, if you
Oh,
don't mind.
oh yes. No,
Yeah.
go.
So, Friday, I think I was talking to you,
Yes.
and I had mentioned that I sent over a writer, and I don't see any of the stuff that I sent over on the writer. And remember, I told you that if I didn't get the stuff that I asked for, that I was going to tear up your green room. So I'm
Yes.
just letting you know.
I,
I mean, before we move forward,
I'm so sorry. The Skittles.
it wasn't Skittles.
It was
It
the
wasn't Skittles.
M&Ms.
It was the M&Ms
You
with
just
no
wanted the
brown ones. No, because it reminds me of duties or whatever.
only the brown ones.
Yeah, so I'm just warning you. I'm gonna be tearing up the green room, and I did mention that beforehand.
Yeah, yeah. Oh my.
Okay, no, I mean
I'm sorry.
I'm letting you know.
I'm sorry.
I'm just bringing that to your attention.
You did tell me.
I did.
Um, you know what? I'm gonna have to talk to management about
I mean,
this.
that's really none of that is really none of my concern. I'm just putting it out there that I did specify that stuff, and I
I'm so
did tell you
sorry.
it's okay. It's okay.
Eric's my manager. Eric, you need to figure this out afterwards. Okay, we'll get you like a settlement or
Ooh.
somehow
So
because
you're
I don't.
passing the buck on to Eric.
Yeah, and
Okay.
also, did he make you sign the NDA?
I mean, I don't really know anything about that. I don't. There's no NDAs that I'm aware
Ooh,
of.
Eric,
I just told you
Eric.
that if I didn't get the stuff that I asked for in the writer, that I was going to tear up the green room, and that's all I really wanted to bring up. So we can move on now.
How do we, Eric? Eric, man.
Well, just make him clean up after I tear up the green room. It's really not that big of a deal.
Yeah. Well,
That's his punishment for not getting the stuff on the
you're
writer.
right. I do have a toilet that does need scrubbing, so I'll have Eric get on that right away because that's just disgusting. You shouldn't even. You know what? If you have to use the restroom, I'll just call the neighbors and we'll figure something out.
Okay.
Um, but anyways, look, I just want to get into what you've been doing for the past year. Okay, the past year,
boy.
we're not talking work here.
No.
Okay,
We're not
no
talking
work.
work.
We're outside of work. So, what have you been doing as far as yourself and growing a passion and growing uh, your skill level? And tell me what's going on with you.
Well, I mean, everybody like in this time needs to have a side hustle, right? I mean, that's the thing that everyone says. And so I was like, well, I don't really have any skills and I'm not really highly educated. And so I was like, I don't know what I could do for a side hustle. And like, I mean, I racked my brain. I'm like, I looked at stuff, this online stuff, and maybe I could get a store online and blah, 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 blah. But none of that stuff really worked out. So it seems like I ended up with a side hustle without even really trying. And so I don't know how far or how deep you want me to take this, but like I
We're
love
going all the
pizza.
way.
Okay, so I love pizza, and everybody loves pizza, as far as I know. And there's like a pizza place that I had been going to, I think, ever since I was maybe 7 years old or something. And this pizza place has been around since I think it was established in 1953. And so from the age of 7, which is basically my age of reason, that was the only pizza that I had really eaten. And the establishment changed hands a few times, and now the pizza is not as good as I remembered it. And so I was like, well, what I'm going to have to do is try and recreate this pizza. And so it set me on this quest of trying my best to recreate this pizza. And I was never really able to do it, but somehow I ended up creating kind of a pizza of my own, and which is still pretty good from what I understand. This is what people tell me. And
Allegedly.
allegedly.
But allegedly. You started that. That's going to be throughout the whole podcast now.
Hey, that's fine.
Yeah.
So I set out on a quest to make this pizza, and I mean, I made so many bad pizzas. I mean, I'm talking about bags of flour. Like, I'd come home from work every day, and I'd make pizza, and I'm like, yeah, you know, you roll it out, you flatten it out, you put your stuff on it or whatever, and it looks good. But then when you taste the crust, you're just like, oh, that's horrible. And so it went on like this for like a while. And then I had to step back and I had to like try and figure out maybe, you know, what's going on here. And then I came across a recipe. And I looked at the recipe and I was like, wait a minute. It's all the same thing. You know, it's flour, sugar, salt, yeast, and water. So I guess the last recipe that I came upon, I guess it just had kind of like the perfect amount of this and that so that it gave the results that I was really looking for. And the first time I made a pizza, I mean, this was over the course of maybe a year that I was just trying and trying and trying. And when I finally came upon this recipe, I was like, oh, you're home. This is it. This is the recipe. So, yeah, like, actually, but technically, I have been making pizzas for maybe 20 years. And I actually started out with the Pillsbury dough in the can or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, my neighbor across the hall from me came over to my house one day with a pizza. And I was like, oh my God, you actually made pizza at your house? You know? And I tasted it and it was pretty good. And she was like, oh yeah, you know, I just use this Pillsbury can, you know, it's easy or whatever. And I was like, oh, okay. So I started doing that. And it was okay pizza. And then I think about the progression that my pizza has made over the 20 years or whatever. Mm-hmm. And I started out with that Pillsbury. And then later on, I moved over to the Bridgeford dough. It was like that frozen bread dough. And I was like, oh, this is good. But then I was like, I want to try and make my own dough. And that's when it all started. And like I said, I started making those horrible pizzas. But I never gave up. And so now I actually make pizzas that I look at and I'm like, you did that. You made that from scratch. And sometimes I just look at them and I'm like, man, that looks good. And like after, I say, over the past year or so, just making pizza every day, I'm kind of tired of pizza. But every once in a while, when my relatives come over and they buy pizza, you know, I'll take a little taste or whatever. And I'm like, oh, it's good or whatever. But I can't eat it like I used to just because just so much testing and it was all bad. But now it's really good. I'm going to say it's really good, even though what I get from people is that they think it's good. Mm-hmm. But for me, if I taste it and it tastes good, I'm like, okay, these people are right. They are right. So,
wow. That's a really long progression. You said over 20 years?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And I mean, at first I was like, you know, it's weird or whatever that you're doing this for this long, blah, blah, blah. But then, like, I would look at people. Countless videos. I watched countless videos on YouTube. Oh, my God. But I would begin to hear them say, you know, this is a quest I've been on for 7 years or 17 years. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, you're right in line. And it's not weird because other people have the same passion. And I look at their stories and I see myself in those people. And I'm like, okay, so you're on the right path. Like, I haven't completely found my way and I'm not 100% happy with the pizzas. Mm-hmm. And I think for people who are creative or whatever, I think it's always like that with them. They're not going to never be satisfied. Yeah. Like, this is it's a nice looking pizza or whatever. But whenever I make them and I sell them to people, I'm like, this could have been better and that could have been better. And I kind of cringe when I give them to the people. Mm. And then the feedback that I get from them, amazing. And I'm like, get the F out of here. You did not really just say that about my pizza that I made from scratch. Like, what?
What are some of the things and reviews that people have said about your pizza?
Well, one lady looked at a pizza that I made for somebody, and she posted it on her, I think, Facebook page. And so this lady called up, or actually texted, the network of people that I have helping me with this pizza, and she said she saw the pizza on her friend's page, and it took her breath away. And she was like, I'm signing it. I want one. How do I get one or whatever? And I'm like, hold on. She didn't even taste it. And she said that it took her breath away. I'm like, okay, if visual is what got her to want a pizza, wait till she tastes it, And then I've had people tell me that it's better than, and this is subjective, of course. It's better than Round Table. I've had people say it's better than Roma's Pizza, and then that other pizza place that I was telling you about that has been around since 1953. So, it's all people's opinions or whatever, but they're going to use their opinions to spend their dollars.
You're right.
So if they like it, that's all I really need to worry about. But yeah, she said it took her breath away. I was like...
You should put an inhaler in the boxes of pizza,
Dude,
just in
she
case
did
you
it.
take more breaths away,
Right?
It would make sense.
I might get sued or something, huh? It's like,
No, that would be a great advertising piece, a good marketing
well,
tool.
But not
It could be like a fake inhaler or just like,
But
I
not
don't know.
everybody, feels that way per se. That was just her thing. And so people, I don't know if they're just saying stuff or whatever, but some people are like, oh, it's the best pizza I've ever had, and so forth and so on. So, I don't know. But I think it is pretty good, though.
That's pretty cool. So, look, for everyone who doesn't know about her pizzas, let me put it up on the screen real quick for you guys to see. So, there we go. So you guys can see the clip that I'm showing. So, there's a lot of cool things about it. You put a lot of detail work into it. Wow. I'm looking at the video right now because I got the pizza right here. That's for the people. But
the reason that I chose that one to bring today is because it seems like that's probably the best one, or the best seller. The best seller. And
so you went all out.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that.
This one.
I don't know if y'all seeing this, but homemade pizza right here.
Yeah, this one, or a variation of this one, is the one that people order the most. And an interesting thing is it's a white sauce pizza, right?
White sauce.
Yeah, it's white sauce. And, God, it's a lot of work. And it's the one that I like.
Oh, wow.
It's good, huh? It really is good, though. And let me tell you something. Remember I told you I had gotten to the point where I really didn't want pizza. But I sold a pizza to my friend, and he was like, taste it. And I was like, no, I've had enough pizza, He was like, come on, taste it. So, knowing this guy, I was like, you know what, let me take a little taste so that he doesn't think maybe I've done something to the pizza. And I tasted it, and I was like, oh my God, this is good. I didn't even know it was that good. Because
Daveda, it really is that good.
That's what they say. That's what they say. So, I don't know.
And I didn't have no breakfast this morning.
True, so that might be why you think it's really good.
No,
you know
but
how sometimes
here's the thing.
It's kind of like
it's not warm, but guess what? Because we waited a while.
Yeah, it's still good, huh?
Pizza tastes good when it's not hot. It's really good pizza.
That's what they say the hallmark is. Yeah.
It tastes really good.
Yeah.
It can go both ways. You can heat it or eat it cold.
Yeah.
Straight out the freezer. Or maybe not out the freezer, just like room temperature pizza and,
Well, yeah, like I said, they say that's the hallmark. And this is the interesting thing about my pizza menu is I just been making them just for friends and family, right? Mm-hmm. And so every one of the pizzas has a name, and it's named after the person that orders the pizza. Mm. And this one's actually named after my sister because this is what she likes on her pizza. So in order to remember, because there's so much stuff on here. Mm-hmm. So in order to remember what she's going to get, I'm like, oh, okay, she wants the... And so I refer to this one as the Shirley B because this is the one that my sister gets. And then through her getting that, the people that taste the pizza that she has, they all like that white sauce. And so they all kind of end up with a variation of this. And so there's about 10 pizzas or whatever from my friends and family, and it's always what they order, and they each have a pizza named after them.
Well, what's different between this pizza and the first pizza that I had? Because it seems like the bread is like a little bit different.
Yeah, because I learned a little bit more about bread making. Bread making is, there's a lot of nuances to it. And I think on the other pizza, I hadn't realized at the time that you needed to proof it for a certain amount of time. Like after you make it up and you knead it and so forth, then you have to let it proof for a while, and it has to get that was an accident.
You're good.
And so I've learned that you have to let it proof after you knead it and mix it for a certain amount of time. And then when you get ready to actually roll out the pizza, you have to let it proof again. And so, which created all those bumpy air bubbles and stuff. And so, like when you get it fresh straight out of the oven, the crust is usually kind of crispy and soft. And that's kind of really, I was, asking a lot of family members. I asked for a lot of feedback from everybody. I was like, here's a pizza, let me know what you think of it or whatever. And I had one person tell me, well, it's too hard, it's too crunchy, I kind of like it soft, like crunchy on the outside and soft on the inside. So I was like, okay, well, let me see if I can get that working. And so it was through the feedback that I had gotten from a few people that brought me to this current incarnation of the pizza that we have right now.
Yeah.
So I wasn't letting it proof long enough. You got to let like the yeast get in there and the water get in there and moisturize it and so forth.
I'm glad you're explaining the whole process to me, because I'm an idiot when it comes to cooking. I mean, I put the whole pizza in the oven in the box.
With the box, yeah.
Like look at this. I would literally put this on the wall if I can. I would hang this up like as a picture, because it looks so beautiful. I mean, look. And so what type of, these are tomatoes, right?
Sun-dried tomatoes.
Sun-dried
yes.
tomatoes?
Sun-dried tomatoes.
Yeah, because they have a lot of flavor.
Yeah.
And it's not like you killed it with so many tomatoes. It's
No.
like just the right amount, and they pack that sweet type of flavor to it.
And I don't even know how I got onto sun-dried tomatoes.
Yeah. How'd you,
was that?
What'd you do? Who put you on that?
Yeah, let me think about it for a second. I don't know. I must have seen it somewhere. Like I said, I've been trying to do this for like 20 years. But I mean, strictly as a hobby, And then also just, like I said, because the pizza place that I really fell in love with, they had changed. And I guess maybe I was just trying out toppings. I really don't know where the sun-dried tomatoes came from, but I just started using them.
Well, these tomatoes, you could literally I'm sorry, this pizza's so good. Oh my gosh. I know
Am
people.
I gonna have to pay you for this? Because
Oh, no.
it sounds
So
like I'm
good.
paying you to say this stuff.
No, man. Look. Can I buy stock into this market?
Yeah, but we haven't quite done our IPO yet. But when we do, I'll let you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because definitely.
I mean, there's a big corporation that has actually funded me some money. Yeah.
Really?
Really. They don't know it, but they have. Yeah.
Well, I know that when this falls into the right hands, people are going to try to shut your business down because you're going to knock the competition out of the water.
Well, okay.
We
can go with that. I mean, I feel like that's something to strive for.
Oh, yeah. If we could just catch Shaq somewhere.
Oh, would he dump the Papa John's and be like, I'm just going to support, Beto Pizza?
And get him to try one of these pizzas. Oh, man. I'm sure
with
you'll
that.
love it.
I'm with that.
I feel like people want something original, something new, so that they don't know about, and it's kind of like an exclusive pizza. That's how it feels because you can't get this anywhere else. You
Right.
know, like, did you hear about Kanye West? He sold his shoes for like, I think it was like 1.8
I
million.
did hear that. Yeah.
Crazy.
I mean, I don't know who would want those, but somebody does because they're worth a lot of money.
Someone does. Hey, look, imagine a pizza going for that much.
What is it? The ETFs is it or the E something something? What was that?
I
Was
got.
that spinach?
I think. Oh, it's I think. Yeah. No, it was onion.
Oh, onion. Okay.
Onion.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I love onions too.
Yeah, but they have this digital thing or whatever that people are selling now, and it's called ETF or something
ETF.
like
I was
that.
thinking ETF too, and maybe it's something else.
Something
I
like
can't
that.
really think of it.
Yeah, that'd be cool if I could get that going with my.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we gotta. So, do you have any merch or anything like that?
No, because I mean, as of right now,
It's a startup, and
it's
you're.
super. I mean, super. I think I probably have like about 12 customers. Yeah. And probably about 11 of those are my family members.
Mm.
So we're not there yet. And I mean, that's okay. I don't mind that, I'm not like, what is it, round table or anything. Like, to me, the most important part to me is just like making good pizza. And, I have family members helping me out with this, and they're handling like the sales and that kind of thing. Like, I don't know anything about it. I just want to make pizza. And that's okay with them because they want to go out there and they want to sell the pizza. And I just want to make the pizza. And I don't want to have to worry about merch or any of that kind of stuff. I have people for that, quote unquote. But I guess at some point, though, I really would like to have some merch. And I guess the easiest thing is like maybe a T-shirt with a little logo on it or something like that. And so that'll probably be the next step. And it's okay with me that if it never really reaches like a big group of people, if I could just keep it as a little side hustle with the close knit sort of customers. I've been picking up customers a little bit here and there. And I actually have one customer that, like I was saying, she posted the picture of her pizza on her Facebook page, and it actually got a few people to come over and buy the pizza.
Wow.
So, yeah, but probably if I do get some merch, I don't even have I have no presence on social media other than the second and third party people who put their pizzas that they purchased from me out there.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we're small and we're just trying to kind of, I think, build up the customer base slowly. And like I said, it's okay with me if it's just a person here and a person there because I don't want to get all like cookie cutter.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's best for me if I can just make the pizza and do it the way I like to do it and have the time to do it instead of like stamping out a bunch of,
Yeah, like a lot of these bigger pizza industries and companies.
Exactly.
Yeah, they just boom, there you go.
So I think I refer to it as kind of like a boutique. I almost hit that.
No, you're good.
Like
I'm
a
checking.
boutique
Yeah.
kind of pizza. Because I was reading an article. I've read so much stuff. Oh my God, I've watched so many videos. And they were talking about how the pizza business is changing. And they have these places that are like, it's kind of like you make your own pizza and you go through this line and you pick out what you want on it. And that's okay. And that kind of pizza has its place or whatever. And then this pizza has its kind of place. And it's obviously not going to reach as many people as those corporate places. And that's okay. And my interaction with my customers is a little more personable than you just coming in a line and just picking out stuff. But it would be great if someday I could actually make this my job, my own job. And it's like one of those things where if you love what you're doing, you don't really consider it a job. So that would be cool. And I'm not saying that I'm not trying to do that. It would be great, but you can't do it overnight. And the little 1 and 2 pizzas that I sell, or 5 or 6 during the week, it's fine with me.
I absolutely love it. And it's very inspirational too because a lot of people they need to see more people like you starting from nowhere really and starting with what you like not knowing what to do, but you do want to do that.
Yeah.
And obviously, you came a long way. I don't know what your first pizzas that you
Oh
described
my
taste like, but
God.
this right here, I
You
would
don't
say
even
this.
want to know.
Oh, but
You
this is
don't.
amazing. And honestly, if people got a hold of this pizza like it was industry pizza, like it was just available like that, people's idea of pizza would change. I know
You
that for
think
sure.
so?
Yeah,
Okay.
because look, this is real. Like you made this, and like if people saw that it was being made, like let's say for example, like you see nowadays people at like places like Biology, they make the pizzas and stuff in front of you. Kind of like you said, they wait in the line. Do you want this on there? You want that on there?
Mm-hmm.
It would be really interesting to see your pizza at work in that type of environment and see how well that would thrive against the other pizzas, but in your own way, and see see what that does for your pizza, and your business that I really like it though. It's really cool, and I would put this up on the wall. It's pretty too. Like
It is pretty.
I
Yeah,
wonder
it
what
is
it
pretty.
looks like on literally. I'm thinking like that wall over there might look good. Like I don't know. I don't know how these age, but
Yeah, I don't. Probably a picture would probably be better.
an actual picture.
Yeah.
That would be kind of weird having a
Well,
pizza
how
on the
about
wall and
a
someone
video, a video of it maybe on a loop or something.
a loop.
Yeah.
I see. Oh, those pictures that have the videos on it. The little you could upload.
Oh, you're talking about like those digital frames?
Yeah, it's
or...
like a digital. Yeah,
Yeah.
those are
yeah.
pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. But besides the so you said 20 years it's been in the making, really, or
But
20 years.
I don't want to necessarily say it's like not for 20 years have I been trying to be like, oh, I want to have a pizzeria. Not that per se. But like I said, I love pizza and I always tried to make pizza, just throughout it. And it just progressed and progressed. And I never really, wanted to like sell or anything like that. But my niece, I was over here minding my own business, and I came home from work one day, and it was a hard, long day, and I was just about to sit down, and I heard her say, "Oh yeah, we can have those pizzas ready for you by 5 o'clock," and it was like 4 o'clock, and I had just sat down, and it was like I felt like how somebody pushes you, like they push you into the middle of a fight or something, and you look around and you're like, hey, what's going on? And like after that, she's got some friends. We have some mutual friends, and that's basically who we sell it to. And like she's really instrumental in actually getting me. She was trying to force me to do it for a long time. And I was like, I'm not ready, And she was like, oh, you're just making excuses. And I'm like, no, I'm just not ready, because in my mind, I wanted it to be perfect.
Yeah.
Just how you are with your podcast or whatever. And so when she pushed me out there, I was like, well, you got to either get it super close to perfect or it's just gotta go, so. But I really enjoy doing it more than I enjoy eating them, actually. So.
And the reactions of the other people and.
I mean.
Wow.
Like it's the reaction that you just gave, and it's like it's really hard to believe that
It's like drugs.
Yeah, well, I don't necessarily.
It's drugs, Daveda.
I don't necessarily.
Definitely drugs.
It has nothing to do with drugs.
I could forget that we're doing a podcast right now and just start finishing this whole pizza.
Okay.
You know what? Matter of fact, let's cut this. But yeah, no, it's really good. Like your work right here is masterful. Okay, and if the pizza lords and gods were to see this, they would bless you.
Yeah.
They would bless you with everything that you ever will want or need. Because this right here is amazing. Like, see my hand over this pizza right now? I'm blessing this pizza.
Okay.
I'm not a pizza god or lord.
Right.
But my hand right now, I'm blessing this pizza. I'm praying for this pizza. Because this pizza, it doesn't need prayer. It's already good. It's perfect as it is. But what it needs more people to discover, more labor that goes into it, more profit.
So crazy.
This pizza is literally drugs. Now, if there's a way we could find a few individuals to stand on street corners and like, you know what I mean?
Signs and stuff.
Because think about it. Costco, Sam's Club, they have their little taste testing, right? Now, if we could taste test some of this pizza to some
A pop
people,
up.
a pop up,
A
yeah,
pop up.
just go on the street corner, boom, boom. You know, because I mean, if we go in front of a business, we might get kicked
Oh
out.
yeah.
Especially if we're in front of like a Little Caesars or Mountain Mike's or something like that,
Well,
they'll shut it down. Like, yo, they're trying to steal our sales away. But if people were to taste a little piece of this,
right.
they will want all of it. Like I just said, I could just eat this whole pizza right now. I really could. And so,
See, this is the kind of stuff that people say, and it's like I don't. I think the only way that I could really take the compliment seriously is if it's somebody that I don't really know.
yeah, you want someone,
Right, kind of like an unbiased. I
yeah,
mean, no offense
yeah.
to you, but I really can't go with what you say.
Yeah, you're like
because
overhype. He's crazy, and he's just hungry. He didn't eat no breakfast.
that, yeah, all of that.
He was drooling out of the mouth before I even seen him today, and
Yeah.
he was on me like, "Where are you at with my pizza?"
So yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
I accept what you say.
Be
And
great,
only
but be grateful.
yeah, well, only because so many other, or not so many, not like I have like tons and tons of customers, but the reaction, the feedback is always that. So I guess at some point you got to believe it and you got to go with it.
We should maybe along with your pizzas have like some sort of online survey where you can get more feedback. Because like on the bottom of receipts, you go to places and you see like the cashier's name on there, and like you can rate your experience, and that'll be kind of interesting. There's so many little ways to make these websites. I'm sure the network of people you have can they'll get you set up.
Yeah, I mean,
They're better than my Eric that I have over here.
oh God, do I have any Erics?
I gotta hire a new manager.
Are there any Erics in my people?
If you have an Eric, you have to just put him on the blacklist. Just boom, ban him.
The blacklist or the whitelist.
Blacklisted, whitelist. Oh yeah, whitelist.
Actually, it would
too.
actually be a whitelist for me because that would be yeah.
Yeah,
It would be a
yeah.
whitelist. You have to be on the whitelist.
The whitelist.
Yeah, well, I do have a network of people, quote unquote people, and they're ready to do it. I'm just not. I'm not ready. You know how they say, "Be careful what you wish for."
You're right.
Because if you get it, then you're gonna be like I was saying before, the white sauce one. It is not my favorite pizza to make because it is really labor intensive, and I was speaking to somebody and I said, "This is normally how it works out." Like I could probably have a successful, thriving pizzeria, but it wouldn't be me making the pizzas that I want to make. What would end up happening is whoever comes in are mostly going to want the white sauce pizza because that's the one that I like making the least. Mm-hmm. And that's just how things work in this place. And that's fine. I understand that too.
Yeah.
But yeah, be careful what you wish for.
Yeah. You get so much business, and then you might need more workers to help. And not everyone is you when it comes to making the pizzas.
I know.
And you don't want it to go like.
I think about that. I think when my niece is helping me make pizzas, I'm like,
how do we secure that? That keep that quality. Like,
I guess I just have to be looking at. I don't know. And you know what?
you can
At some
do it,
point,
though.
you have to like, step back and, you do a creation, and as long as the quality stays, pretty good. If it doesn't look quite like the ones that I make, as long as it tastes good, that's the main thing I think.
Yeah, I agree. Well, hey, look, I'm pretty sure this is gonna go exactly where God wants it to, in His will, her will, its will.
I was waiting for you.
You know what I mean?
To mention that feminine.
Yeah. Well, hey, look.
Part of it.
Look. We all come from a woman. You know what I mean? So
Got a name from a woman.
Exactly. This is why, like, when it comes to like religion and stuff like that, or who God is or what God is, I'm with the universe. Like what I see through my two eyes. Like I see that, I came from a woman. Okay, and I've never seen God before, but I'm pretty sure if God is real, and if we're all a part of His creations, then we're just little mini examples of it. So I believe God is potentially in every one of his people.
Oh, for sure.
And so I try to treat people with respect, but like, people don't have respect, and they're not respectful of their environment, and, throwing trash on the floor, like
Oh yeah,
stuff,
that's so annoying.
just,
Like we
and
only have one Earth. It's not
yeah,
like
yeah,
we're all gonna get on the ship to Mars and they're gonna fly
yeah.
everybody to Mars.
Speaking about Mars, actually, it's funny that you mentioned that. Elon Musk said that in the mission to Mars, there's likely to be several tragedies, several people passing away. So yeah,
I don't. What are they going to be passing away from? Because they're not.
I don't know.
They're not going anywhere but the desert. I mean, they're really not going to go to Mars.
Yeah.
You know that,
Well,
right?
hey, look, I have no idea.
Oh,
There's a
okay.
lot to be said about
Okay.
that whole thing. It's strange to me, like, to think one day that we may or may not be on this earth at some point. Like, we might just be like what's left behind.
That is some of the most ridiculous poppycock I've ever heard in my life. But I mean, if that's what you believe,
Who knows?
I'm not one to step on somebody's beliefs, but
Who knows?
okay.
I think there is a collective of people out there who want to control Earth, and if they can't control this Earth, they will either create their own Earth.
Yeah, on Earth.
Well, I mean, we already know this
They
area.
ain't going nowhere.
Of
I'm
course,
telling you.
we already know, but like the freedom of. I see what you did there.
No, I didn't do anything.
No, you're right. You're right.
Anything.
This Earth is being controlled, obviously, by a collective. And
obviously.
Obviously.
Mm-hmm.
But I think where I'm going with it is people want complete domination of everything that's existing, because people are unpredictable and then we have errors. We're not perfect, in the way we think and the way we do things and the way our health is. I think that we're gonna just end up being replaced. Like, I don't think that we're just, I think we're just something that is being controlled to a degree, but then eventually, I think with like AI maybe, or with some sort of new breed that I don't know exactly, but I do think that something else that they can have complete and utter control of all its surroundings and its health and its vitality. And
Let me just interject.
Yeah, please
So
do.
you don't feel like that is already where we are? Or maybe I'm just seeing it.
I don't know. I think that a lot of things are possible with a lot of manipulation, but I don't know because I haven't seen it. Like in movies and TV shows, I think that they're showing us things that are possible, or maybe to some extent, or something that they've already done. I don't know.
If they're showing it to you, they are already doing it.
What are some of the things that you've taken away from movies, and you're like, oh my gosh?
Let me tell you. Okay, let's. If I can remember, I can never remember the name of this movie. Hold on, Minority Report.
Okay.
So there's some stuff in there, and I think he had. I don't know if I'm like maybe spoiling something for anybody, but that movie's been out for a long time. So if I'm spoiling something for you, you need to watch more movies. But anyway, he had gotten because they use your retinas in that movie to identify who you are, right? Mm-hmm. And so the main character, Tom Cruise, had gotten his eyeballs replaced, right? Mm-hmm. And he went into a store, and the readers at the beginning of the store read his eyeballs, his retinas or whatever, and they were like, "Mr. Yamamoto, we are glad you're back. Did you like those sweaters that you got here last time?" So he's like, they're talking about basically how they're tracking people. And this movie, I think, came out in 1997.
Wow.
And so, I mean, if they were showing you that in 1997, that means that they were doing that already 25 years ago. Because they're like, from what I understand, they're ahead of us in technology, like 25 years. Like when these phones come out and stuff like that, like they already have that stuff. They're just holding it back, and they're like, "Oh, this year we're gonna release this one, and the next year we're gonna." So I feel like they already have that technology because, like, also in that movie, he was at a screen and he was like pulling stuff away, And like when you look on your windows or your phone or whatever and your sliding stuff,
Yeah.
like he was doing that in the movie, and I believe it was 1997. And so, you don't make stuff like that up in a movie and then just all of a sudden, a few years later, here we got phones that do what we were showing you, in 1997. So I feel like they are really controlling
Wow.
everything already. I mean, but try to leave and go here somewhere where they say you can't. Antarctica. Try to go there. You can't go there because they got that thing like sewed up. Like nobody could go there
Yeah.
because they got something going on over there, of course, that they don't want us to see. I don't know what it is, of course, but and let's see that movie, and then The Simpsons.
Oh yeah, no, you're right about The Simpsons. Okay.
Yes.
I've seen too much stuff in there that made me think that they know what's going on.
Yeah,
like
yep.
they're not just putting that out there
Yep.
for fun and for views.
Yeah.
Like, remember you probably seen it, but there was
I haven't seen it because I don't really watch The Simpsons, but it came to my attention that they were doing all this. But go ahead, tell me.
Yeah, like they've predicted a Donald Trump. They predicted, they predicted him. They, in this one right here, I really did not like, but they had Kobe Bryant in a helicopter.
Oh yeah.
Years.
That wasn't Simpsons though.
Or it was some other.
That was some other thing. But yes, but
It
you're
looked
right,
like
though.
Simpsons though.
No,
it had to be Simpsons.
No, but think about it.
But
was
some
it
sort
Kenny?
of cartoon.
Was it Kenny in them? What's that one?
You're talking about
Kenny and the
Eric Cart or
It's that group of kids that have have filthy mouths.
Yeah,
and
it's
Kenny and Token and
oh man,
South Park.
South Park.
South
Yeah.
Park. Yeah,
Man, we're getting like you know what I mean. We're forgetting.
Yeah.
I'm sure people would like to pull that up too. And
But no, I'm not saying that it's South Park, but it was. But anyway, I've seen it. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
So yeah, and that was like 3 years before and it's like, I don't really think that was a coincidence. Like after you're seeing so many things like that, you're like, oh no, that's not a coincidence.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That stuff like that's pretty scary because like you don't even know what you're watching anymore. It's like you're seeing the glimpses into the future.
Oh, it's predictive programming.
Yeah.
That's what it is. Yeah.
It's very scary. Oh my gosh.
Don't want to go too deep down the rabbit hole, but
let's go there. I like the rabbit hole,
Yeah,
and
predictive programming.
there's a lot of things like what you said in the Minority Report. Like, yeah, we're doing for example, the new iPhones, and you put it up to your face, unlocks itself. I don't know if your phone does that.
If it did, I wouldn't use that feature. That's nothing but facial recognition software.
Yeah. On my Mac, it says your screen is being observed. It says that as soon as I open it up, it always says it. So on the lock
just letting
screen.
you know.
Yeah, and I'm a first-time Apple user, and for it to tell me that, it makes me feel a bit like, I don't know, scared. Like some people put a little tape in front of their.
Oh yeah, Zuckerberg does that. Yeah. So if he does that, like what does he know?
What does he know of you?
So if
I think he's a robot.
That,
he's a robot. He has no emotion.
He's not a robot. He's an Aspie.
That would make sense too. Yeah. I mean, but some of his responses are programmed to kind of like, I don't know. It's like he's having little minor glitches in the system. But he's kind of.
I get that though, because like when I'm at work, I have responses that have been programmed. Like instead of saying to the customer what I really want to say, I say, "Oh no, of course you're not in the way. A customer's never in the way." So but yeah, I get what you're saying.
Wow.
Like that's not what I want to say, but there's an agenda behind everything that he's saying. So
yeah.
So it probably is programming.
Yeah. Like I realized, like for example, like excuse me. Like when you walk by someone or if you're in the way or hello, like all that stuff is a courtesy. There's a lot of things that are courtesies, like handshaking, but that's no longer a thing though now.
Right.
Like there's some things that...
There's elbow taps kind of sometimes. And
like when I was doing security, like with the people, like some of the homeless people I deal with, I'll do the elbow taps, because I've just seen them putting their hands all in their pants, and so
Oh,
it's
I'm
like,
puking.
yeah, I'm like, yeah, bring it in, a little elbow, and I wouldn't, I remember one time I had a new guy I was training, and he went in for the full on just handshake, and I was just like,
To a random.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Mm.
and like I told him, look, don't touch anything. I got him some, some germ spray and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But it was funny. Like I think it was like I learned my lesson. Actually, it happened to me when I was new. You know what I mean? I did it because I didn't want to come off like I'm not treating them like they're humans or whatever,
Right.
just because they're down on their luck. Because that could just as easily be me.
No, yeah, I understand. Like we are all probably like one paycheck.
Away,
Yeah.
yeah,
Away. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. And so I remember I shook one of their hands because I was locking up this building, and the guy was just kind of sleeping right there. And so I had to, move him out of the way or whatever. I gave him my water bottle, and he was very thankful. And, I shook it. He shook hand, put his hand out, shook his hand, whatever. I didn't think anything of it. I didn't have any germ spray. I was new at the time. Now I carry that thing around. But I remember my hand broke out. Like I got bumps on my hand, like right above my thumb, where he grabbed it, and it had to. I remember I was just scratching that thing, and then it wasn't just me. So like I remember I brought it up to the other workers, and some other guy had a story. His whole hand, I guess, his hand got very swollen, like with pus, and he had to like go to the doctor and get it
Ew.
drained and stuff.
Ew.
Yeah.
That's just from a touch.
Yeah, and you don't know where their hands have been.
True.
And
Yeah. True that.
And so like I didn't know about like I'm just curious like what could that be to have a reaction that fast, but I'm not a doctor or anything to know these things, but I'm just wondering like there's chemicals out there that these people can be exposed to.
Oh yeah.
I don't think that's like
I
their
didn't think
own.
about it in that respect. Yeah.
I don't think that it's their own bodily fluids that
Yeah.
can, yeah, you could probably break out and have rashes and stuff. But that was just instantaneously, like 10 minutes afterwards, I'm getting little bumps and hives on my hand, and I don't know, but pretty interesting. I know your pizza doesn't have no chemicals, but I know it's got different type of chemicals in it. The good ones.
Just enough chemicals that the FDA, all that kind of stuff,
Do you know any of the requirements for the FDA and what it would take to get your pizza approved? Have you done any research on that?
I mean, is that really a thing though?
Maybe.
What do you mean FDA getting it approved? I don't.
Like for the, because, they have to like test all the products going out to, I think on a mass level, I think there's a mass consumer thing that I'm not too sure
So
I got to do research on that.
So you're telling me I got to worry about the FDA approving my pizza.
You got some good chemicals in there, though. Who knows? They might have to really check this thing out.
For real.
Get the dogs out, sniff it.
So they can give out vaccines that they haven't approved, but you're talking about I got to worry about all that about a pizza? I mean, a pizza. We're talking about a pizza.
A pizza.
A pizza. No, I don't really think that that's a thing.
So about the vaccine, you probably don't want me to open this can of worms, because
open it if you want.
Okay, we open it. It's like can of sardines. Yeah.
Open it.
So do you plan on getting the vaccine?
I don't plan on it, but since we do live in, and I'm sorry that you don't see it this way, we do live in a situation where everything is controlled. At some point, I know that I'm going to have to get the vaccine, and I'm going to hold off until, I'm not going to voluntarily march down there and be like, okay, give me the jab or whatever. I don't plan on volunteering. Hopefully, it would be more like the National Guard would break into my home and force me. I mean, that's where I'm headed with it. Like, it's just not something that I want to do.
Yeah.
Like, I don't really understand why you need a vaccine, but I guess it's really not up to me to understand why we need a vaccine. So
I think that's a smart answer. Because for me, I don't want the vaccine either.
Yeah. And then I also
Yeah.
don't want to give any medical misinformation either.
Yeah.
It's just my opinion is that I prefer not to have it. And I'm under the impression that if enough people get it, that, we'll develop herd immunity.
Yeah.
And possibly I won't have to get it. And then with all the recalls and the dosages that aren't correct and people leaving dosages out of the refrigerator, freezer, or whatever, it seems like it's going to be a setback and I can just get further back in the line. But if I'm forced to do it, for employment or something like that, then you don't really have a choice.
Yeah.
So
You're right. And did you hear about how they want people who even already had the virus to still get the vaccine, even after they said
no, I haven't heard that.
yeah. It's
They want say it again.
So even if you have the virus, they still want
The
you.
vaccine.
They still want you to get the vaccine. Yes.
Wait. So if you have the virus,
You already had COVID.
they want you to get the vaccine.
They still want you to get it. Even after they said,
no, there's no agenda there.
Yeah.
I don't think that there's an agenda.
even after they said, yeah, once you had it, you've already built up the antibodies, and then now they're saying, yeah, but still get it.
Still get it.
Now, what's the agenda there on that? And there definitely is, and I don't know. I feel like because me and my wife, we still want to, we have plans to go places still.
Mm-hmm.
That would be the only reason why we get it, but I'm a little bit worried. So, there's been a few things on the internet, a few things in the conversations on the social media about,
Because that's where you really get the real news.
Yeah.
You know that, right?
Yeah,
This mainstream media is donezo. That thing's done.
he say, she say, and everyone's apparently an expert, Yeah. But some people have been speculating on whether or not it could ruin fertility and
Oh.
and stuff like that. So I'm just if I'm gonna have another kid, now's the time to do it. Yeah.
Hurry up.
And for women who are pregnant, I hear there's some things about that's not too healthy for them as well. So who knows? I just don't want to lose an opportunity, because I decide I want to get a vaccine right away and say, hurry up and jab this needle in my arm. If I want to have a kid in the future, what if
they haven't done enough research?
Yeah.
I guess not research, but
Remember polio?
trials. Yeah, they haven't done enough trials, or they just came out with it too quick. It's like all the previous vaccines that I recall, they 10 years and this one was less than a year.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't know. There's lots of red flags with that whole thing. Just knowing that they haven't been working on it, unless they've been working on it for a long time and they just haven't told us.
Yeah. There was a video on the internet, and I wish I could pull this up, but I don't want to really mess with this whole setup, so I'll just shoot off the top.
And then plus me with my, exaggerated hand movements hitting the microphone.
Oh, you're good. So there's this video, okay, that was referred to me by my wife's grandpa, right? He's a great person. I gotta get him on the podcast too. He goes pretty deep on a lot of things, but he showed me this video of this court case that was going on, and I believe this was a member of some sort of secret government branch that was literally testifying for more funds for their department, and they were saying they had to make a statement and why they would need the funds, right? And they asked, why do you need the funds? Because they have to do that with everything. They have to ask why, and and you have to give them a reason, and how you're going to allocate the money. And it's an old video. I think it was in 2000, 2003, somewhere in there, early 2000s.
That's funny because all this stuff is starting to leak out now.
Yeah. And in this video, in this video, they asked him, what do you need the money for? And he's just a representative of, he's just sitting there reading from this paper, right? He's not allowed to say anything else but what's on this paper that he was given. And they asked him, and he was like talking. He's reading from the paper. We need the funds for undisclosed. Not able to say this part, and he'll just brief over, and he'll say like classified. We need the funds for this, classified before, classified they get out, classified. And it was very short. And literally he didn't even tell them what they need the money for, but all he basically said was, we need the money before something gets out, classified, classified, and that's all he was saying. And they approved him for the funds that he has. I forgot, it was a lot of money though, a lot of money.
So classified must be a code word for
something. You know what I mean? Like, yo, and,
like they know what classified means.
Yeah,
but...
and if you go on YouTube, you could probably find this video. If they didn't take it down already, but on YouTube, search up court testifies classified case, something like that. Find something within those searches, and you might find the video. But once I find the video, I'm gonna just drop it in the description box of this video, so people who want to know more, they can see it. Quite interesting. It was scary because it was like, you don't know what this dude's talking about, and he's just given this little piece of paper that reads classified information, and it just blanks out all the stuff that they're not allowed to say on, and then they just approve this. Crazy. It is right there for you. Like, no one questioned this. Like, you're gonna approve something you don't know. So basically you're gonna either scare them before they get out. We need this money. Classified information. Before they get out. Okay. Oh yeah. Let me talk to the other members real quick. And
that's kind of like what happened when
we don't want to be responsible for not funding this group
right?
the money and. Our families are being held responsible for, approved.
I'm telling you, they know what classified means. They know what undisclosed means. We just don't know. We don't know, but they know.
Maybe we'd get a lot more things that we want if we just spoke in words like that.
Would work for you. I'm pretty sure that wouldn't work for you.
So let's say someone, how are you doing today? That's classified information. I'm not allowed to say.
I could tell you. But then I'd have to kill you.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's funny. Yeah, there's a lot of things on the internet that I think that people should take a look at. A lot of old videos, a lot of new videos, and people could learn a lot from that and maybe apply it to what's going on today.
I mean,
if they want to know what's going on.
I agree with you, but. Some people don't see things the way that you see things, or you know what I mean? Like, you could show them some stuff and they'll just be like, oh, that's a coincidence, or oh, that didn't really happen, and that's fine, that's fine. But I hear you on maybe getting that stuff out and showing people that the reality that we live in is really not what is presented.
Right.
So, my take on it is this place really is not what it seems. And, like, it's kind of like lipstick, as they say, on a pig or whatever. But then if you look deeper, you see that it's really not as pristine or as nice as, or at least from my perspective. Maybe I'm seeing things that really aren't there, but I don't think so.
Hey, perception is, it's all different.
That's right.
Like, someone says they see the color pink and the color's red. You gonna argue with that person?
No, because that's their reality and their perception. So yeah.
Yeah. Like, some people will say this pizza is the shiznit.
And then some people would say it isn't.
Yeah. Which is probably like another pizza company. Like, yeah, this don't taste good. Why would I eat this? I would never bring this in my household. This would only make its way to the trash can. But it's everything is going the way I guess it's supposed to, because it was
And I do think
always.
so. I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, no matter what we see, I think it's just gonna be like how it is, and we can only affect what we're doing, And I think that what me and you both have going on is it's very productive against everything that we're given in life. So I think as far as what we're supposed to be doing, I think we're doing exactly that.
I
You
think
know,
so. Yeah. Uh huh.
yeah,
Well, like you have to go through some things to get to where you're supposed to be, and so I feel like in my years I've gone through enough things, and you know, I guess it's kind of like hump day. You're like, you got to get up over that mountain, and then once you, or that hill or
yeah.
whatever. So,
So, so what inspired you, or who inspired you to get into the pizza making business and put you into that mindset where you want to
like
go on this?
nobody inspired me. It was just I really love pizza, and I wanted to make pizza closer to the pizza that I had grown up with, and it wasn't working out for me. I don't know. They got something going on in those recipes that I'm just not privy to. And then after a while, I started my pizza started taking on a flavor of its own. And you know what? This is the pizza that I make, and this is how my pizza tastes. And I'm actually okay with doing it that way because, I mean, if you're a copycat, you know, then you can only get yourself so far. But if you make your own, then this is the flavor. This is, So, yeah, nothing really inspired me. It's just, I really like pizza. That's just what it is.
That's pretty cool.
And like I said, I never really took this on to be a venture, a profit, or anything like that. It's just people around me were saying it's good. You should sell it. You should try to sell it. And I'm like, get out of here.
Yeah. So what's some advice that you could give someone if we have another pizza listener out there, because I'm sure everyone loves pizza.
I
Okay.
am too.
So
Yeah.
what would be some advice that you would give to someone who's either starting out or who's
Oh,
interested in learning
okay.
more?
Yeah. Well, my first piece of advice would be on YouTube. There's just so much information. There's a guy named Tony Gimiani, and anybody who's into pizza, I'm sure knows who that guy is. It's people like him out there. They'll give you a breakdown of how to do this and how to do that. There's a lot of videos, a lot of people like Tony who owns a lot of restaurants, and then there's also people like me who just like making homemade pizza. And out of all those videos that I watched, I didn't get any more information from Tony Gimiani than I did from, you know, um, Fidel Montoya, who's not a world famous pizza maker, but he has a channel and he shares what he does making his pizza, and I just take a little bit from everybody, and so that'd be the first place that I would start. But like if you feel like you want to make pizza,
Mm-hmm.
just do it. I hate to use a Nike phrase or whatever, but
Just do it.
yeah, just do it. I mean, like I had no idea that it was ever going to come out like this. But I really enjoy doing it, and I enjoy making the pizza more than I enjoy eating the pizza. Now I've gotten to that stage. So, I mean, if you feel like you want to make pizzas, try it. Because, I mean, I tried it and it turned out to be good. I mean, it took me a while to get there, but
Yeah, yeah.
but I mean, just try it. You never know. I mean, because it may lead to something else. You maybe you don't make the greatest dough, but maybe the pizza sauce that you develop is the best pizza sauce that ever existed, and maybe you could just sell your pizza sauce. Maybe somebody would just like to just have your pizza sauce.
Yeah.
So I mean, it could lead to other avenues.
You're right. Yeah.
So I would say just do it. Maybe pizza is not your thing. Maybe you just can't get it going, but there might be something else on the journey that you find that will help you get to wherever else you need to go.
For sure. And I guess this also goes for anyone out there who is listening. And if you do have some sort of advice or any sort of feedback that you can give my guest Davida here, as well, or if you want to add to her business, any sort of entrepreneurial route, any sort of tips or whatever that will definitely help. Because you're
Oh,
trying to
I'm
get there.
open. I'm open to it.
She's open for
Like it
business.
wasn't a possibility before.
Yeah,
Like I didn't really think about it in that respect before,
yeah,
but you know, I have a job that it's an okay job and it's not one that, I would do for free. But this is how I feel about it. I would do
yeah,
it for free.
yeah,
So, yeah, I'm open to any possibilities. It's always great when you can, have a job that you really enjoy. And so,
right.
yeah, I'm open.
Well, after we talk, I'll leave in the description where they can find you. Like you said, there's a Facebook page that you guys have or something.
No, actually, my niece has a Facebook page, and like I would
Okay.
make her pizzas, and she would just post the pizzas
Okay.
on her page. So,
Okay.
like I said, I really don't have a social media
Okay.
presence
That's
because,
cool. That's cool. We'll
yeah,
figure it out.
I mean,
We'll
at
keep
some
putting you on
point
the
I might.
show.
There we go.
Yeah,
There we go.
and then we'll see the
It's just, when I
status.
come back next time, can we get that writer thing taken care of, and then I won't tear up your green room today.
Yes. We'll have the brown M&Ms specifically to your Taylor, in the water. I know you don't drink the purified
It was
drinking
supposed to
water.
be 37.298 degrees. But
Eric.
Eric,
Damn it,
I
Eric.
can't stand that guy.
Eric, we got
Can't
issues.
stand that guy.
Yeah, me and him, we have to have a little talk. But yeah, I'm really happy to have you on here today.
Thank you. It's a pleasure.
Yeah. Is there anything else you would like to throw into the mix? And
Um, I'll work up something for my next appearance.
hey, look, I'll take all that. I'll take all the smoke you can give. Right? But yeah, so hey, look, everyone listening, thank you guys for tuning in, and we are out.
All right.
Let's get out of here.